welcome to the 16th Stress Management Workshop for Leeds Beckett University. It's great to see you again. As always, if you've been watching me the last few weeks, the last 15 weeks, each and every one of these workshops does have instructional type elements in mind, something practical. So if you wish to go grab yourself a pen and paper, feel free to put the kettle on, grab yourself a drink as well, and we've got half an hour today between 2:45 and 6:15. So as mentioned, yes, this is actually the 16th, and the last previous 15 workshops have been all to do with basically managing your health, your fitness, your overall mental well-being during this crisis, the COVID-19 pandemic. And I'm not too sure if you agree with me, but I know a few people in my circle, we are actually now saying things are starting to feel like they're going back to normal, whatever that normal might feel for you. Everyone's got their different idea, but it's certainly been a journey and we're not quite out of the woods yet. I'm not here to put any frighteners on anyone. However, we are maybe possibly gearing up for another peak. Who knows? No one actually knows, do they? But it has been quite a tough few weeks, and again, with these workshops in mind, I'm here to help you if you have been struggling with the negative impacts that stress does have on yourself, your body, on a physical and your mental type well-being. And I always recommend, I'm not going to go through all of them week by week, but if you actually go through to the description box below, you can see each and every week and just check out the title that resonates with you, because most people who do watch these workshops, we're all from different walks of life, we all have different backgrounds, we're all doing different things, and when the COVID-19 first came into our lives, it had a huge impact on each and every one of us, however, in different ways. I've always said this in each and every week, it's not one size fits all, and we've all responded to this crisis in different ways. So I would always just have you just go back, bounce back to the previous weeks, and basically I would always suggest, if you're brand new to these workshops, check out week number 1 with the Are You Stressed assessment. Now, you may not even realise that you are stressed, because stress is perceived or experienced in different ways. For example, you can have a row of people and those row of 10 people can experience the same situation in 10 different ways. So it's really how you are as a person, your experiences to date, your conditioning, your upbringing, your experiences that actually help you or have you experience a stressful situation in the way that you perceive it. So you may not even realise that you are stressed, or it could be that you have experienced stress for the first time in your life. Wherever you are, I obviously need to be catering for all different types of walks of life when it comes to these workshops, but I always suggest, if you're brand new, ping back to week number 1 with the Are You Stressed assessment, and I would suggest that you fill out that 25-part questionnaire, and it goes through questions that helps you identify where you are with your stress levels. And not to alarm you in any shape or form, but if you were to score anything more than 14 points plus, this is where these series of workshops will come in handy, because basically anything over 14 points plus would actually make you or help you realise that you do need to become aware and make change in your life, because there are certain habits that you're probably still continuing doing that are not serving you too well, and it's having an impact on your physical and your mental well-being. So again, if you don't feel too stressed out, or you feel like you are still maybe finding it hard to shake off that stress, then I would always suggest you go back to week number 1 with the Are You Stressed assessment. It's 25 questions and it takes you a few minutes, and if you are to score 14 points or more, then you can bounce to any of the other workshops in this series, and hopefully there'll be something in there that can help you alleviate your stress and your anxiety that you might be feeling. Hello, my name is Jen. If you haven't been following me, I actually am a spin instructor for Leeds Beckett University. We have all been in this together as a team. We've actually held so many awesome cardio, strength and meditation type classes online during this whole pandemic. There is a link to the Leeds Beckett fitness schedule if you haven't checked out their awesome classes already. Feel free to jump on board. Give us a like as well on the Facebook page as well, because we've all been here as a team collectively to help you guys out there who have maybe been living on their own throughout the pandemic, who have been managing the stresses of being a parent, as well as having children at home to think about as well. I mean, again, it's been a different situation for all, and we've all been here to try and lighten the load, trying to help you with your oh, sorry, I've got hair on my face somewhere, I can't see it. We've all been here to try and lighten that load when it comes to increasing your mental health and well-being and your happiness levels. So yeah, feel free, if you haven't checked out any of their classes, it is great. And I always suggest, if you have been following me, you will know that there's 4 natural resources. I suggest anyone watching or any of my previous clients I've had before to always implement the 4 natural resources, which is the cardio, strength, balance and good nutrition into your life, in order to safeguard yourself from things like stress, depression, and in my extreme case, when I experienced business burnout a few years ago, depression. And I'm not saying you're here with depression, however, that's like worst case scenario if you are or have been struggling with stress. So yeah, ping back to week number 1. The link is below for the Are You Stressed assessment. So yes, week 16, I cannot believe we're here at week 16, but I've decided to do the 10 best foods to help fight stress. And I've actually researched using 2 articles, and if you'd like the articles, then feel free to message me at any point and I'll send you the links to this. There's actually 20, and I just thought I couldn't talk about 20 in this half-an-hour session today. So I've narrowed it down to 10, and I'm going to be talking to you about each one individually. There's like 1 or 2 or if not 3 points to each of the foods. You can write down which ones that you think that you could just go grab, or you can start using and cooking with in your kitchen to see if it might help you alleviate your stress if you are struggling with your stress levels. So I'm going to start here with number 1 is green leafy vegetables. So anything like your strong dark cabbages or your spinach, because basically it contains folate, which produces dopamine. And we've all heard of dopamine before. It's a pleasure-inducing brain chemical, and basically overall it helps you keep calm. So the studies have been proven, and those who consume the most folate found in heavy green leafy vegetables have a lower risk of depression symptoms than those who take other types of vegetables. So if you are wanting to feel calmer, happier and more energetic, then feel free to go for the spinach. And that whole Popeye thing, when you're a kid growing up, obviously it gives you all the energy you need to be fit as well. So it's always a winner. It's quite hard, I think, to get kids to eat spinach when it comes to their diet. However, I think I've tried Oscar with a few pizzas in my time, bit of spinach on, but it is hard, isn't it? I think I've put a bit of spinach before in a smoothie here and there, but yeah, wherever you can, try and squeeze in the spinach into your diet. Number 2, turkey breast. Now, we all love turkey at Christmas, and when I was researching this fact, I didn't actually realise this myself, but the amino acid found in turkey breast is called tryptophan, if I've actually said that right. If I haven't, pull me up on it, tell me how I say it, but that's actually found in turkey, and it produces serotonin. So again, a bit like dopamine, we've all heard of serotonin as well, and it's a chemical that helps regulate hunger as well as making you feel happy and improves your overall well-being. So we all get that lovely relaxed feeling after we've really pigged out on our lovely roast dinner or Thanksgiving dinner. And I've just found out through researching this particular workshop today, that is the reason why. So if you are wanting to alleviate your stress in any shape or form, go for that turkey breast, and it will actually help you. Again, there's science and research behind that. Number 3 out of the top 10 best foods to help fight stress is oatmeal. Now, oatmeal is considered a carbohydrate, and we all know of the sluggish type carbs that we can eat through the pastas and the potatoes, but this is seen as a complex carbohydrate, and basically it can help the brain make serotonin, and that's the same brain chemical that regulates certain antidepressants. So instead of reaching out for the pastas, even though we all know that a heavy pasta dish can make us feel happy in terms of like a good winter dish to go for, it's still really seen as unhealthy carb. But if you want to go for a complex carb, i.e. oatmeal, stress, as we all know, can cause your blood sugar levels to rise. So a complex carb like oatmeal can contribute to your already potential spike of blood glucose, and that actually helps you reduce your stress. So apparently oatmeal is good. So most people, if you are looking after your health and your fitness, and I have actually mentioned this in previous weeks, oatmeal and with a great generous helping of fruit is always a great way to start your day. It slowly releases the energy that you need, and it's a great way for including the extra fruits into your daily intake, making that the one of 5 out of your day. So all good there. Number 4, as a stress busting food, is yogurt. So apparently the bacteria in your gut can actually help produce or contribute to your stress. And it's consuming the probiotics in yogurt, which can actually reduce not only that reaction, but the brain activity in areas, and it basically handles the emotion, which can actually come from stress. So yogurt, I've got my notes here, is full of calcium, which we know anyway, and protein. And in addition to probiotics, you can't really go wrong if you're including extra yogurt into your diet. So just have a check with the yogurts that you buy, and make sure you go for the healthier types of yogurts. Obviously there are nice treat type yogurts out there, but if you want to go for the healthy ones, awesome. And apparently there is science behind it that yogurt is one of those stress busting foods. So introduce yogurts into your diet is always a winner. Number 5, and I haven't had this in such a long time and I need to get myself some, but salmon. Stress in the body creates adrenaline and cortisol, so those high types of reactions, like stress that we can sort of experience when stressed. But the omega-3 fatty acids found in salmon actually have the anti-inflammatory properties that can help counteract the negative effects of stress hormones. So salmon is really good. You can get bad, or not bad, but you can get not so great pieces of salmon, so always try and go for a nice piece of salmon. I know I used to live in China for 7 years, and the salmon, unfortunately, that I had access to wasn't always the greatest. But if you want to really sauce out your salmon and maybe treat yourself to a nice salmon meal each week or a few times in a month, that's obviously really, really good, and it's also known to be a stress busting food, so that's all good there. Number 6 is blueberries. So the antioxidants found in blueberries can actually help in your defense by improving your body's response to stress. So again, more research on this. It's found that blueberry eaters experience a boost in natural killer cells, which is a type of blood cell that plays a role in immunity. So if you always are to find yourself a nice smoothie recipe, they always like to use blueberries, and there's more reasons that comes out when it comes to research. So blueberries in terms of stress reduction, it is great, so stock up on your blueberries. Number 7 is pistachios. I haven't actually had pistachios in ages, but I haven't actually got this written down, but I remember reading it for my research to this for this workshop. But it's the whole busyness of getting the nut out from its shell in the pistachios that's supposed to de-stress you. I suppose it's just you having something else to think about or concentrate on, a bit like being mindful when you are tucking into your pistachio nuts. But apart from also trying to get into the nuts by breaking its shell, eating pistachios may also reduce acute stress by lowering blood pressure and heart rate. and the nuts also contain types of nutrients that also provide antioxidant support for cardiovascular health. So there's just so much research when it comes to pistachios, and it's definitely a win-win if you were to have it as a go-to snack. I remember mentioning a few weeks ago in another workshop that I did that it's quite hard to be good and healthy when you are feeling stressed, because when stress really does take hold, take grip, it really does affect everything, your motivation, your overall well-being, and your choices that you reach for in the fridge when it comes to food is sometimes cramped or crippled when you are stressed. So if you were to have something like pistachios, like on the by your cupboard, or that you can grab, then that will be really, really good for you to decrease those stress levels as well. So I've never actually been a big fan of these, but hey, I am actually a fan of number 8, which is dark chocolate. I had a stint of being vegan once, and for those who've been following me, it was a few years ago. I actually did an overnight change on my diet and also my lifestyle overall, basically. And I did a 6-month stint where I was vegan for 3 months and then vegetarian for the other 3 months, making it 6 months in total. So to cut out meat altogether. And it was just amazing. And obviously dark chocolate is vegan friendly, but then also researching into this workshop today is that dark chocolate, the antioxidants in the cocoa triggers the walls of your blood vessels, which helps them relax, which lowers blood pressure and improves circulation. And also dark chocolate contains unique natural substances that create a sense of euphoria, similar to the feeling of being in love. Didn't even know that, but hey, there we are. So if you are to go for varieties that contain at least 70% of cocoa, that gives you a very good marker as to what dark chocolate to go for. I mean, I can't remember exactly what dark chocolate. I've actually got some in my cupboard, but I haven't eaten it for a while because I'm not a vegan anymore. But if you are wanting to just reboost your immune system, if you're wanting to really shock yourself out from the haziness that stress can sometimes put on you, if you're experiencing a stressful situation right now, or whatever it is that you're going through, then definitely choosing to become vegan or cutting out the meat in your life and becoming vegetarian is great. And everyone needs a pick-me-up. So dark chocolate when I was a vegan was definitely a little treat, because there's only so many days, weeks, months that you can be good. You need to let out somehow. And for me, when I was on that diet, it was definitely me eating dark chocolate. So yes, the stronger or the more concentrated the cocoa in that chocolate, the better. So number 9 is milk, fortified milk. So it's an excellent source of vitamin D, which is thought to boost happiness. We all know that we need to go out in the sun for vitamin D reasons, and it makes us feel better, look healthier, and there's so much research into that. But obviously it's found in milk as well. So people who have had sufficient vitamin D levels have had a reduced risk of panic disorders compared to subjects with the lowest levels of vitamin D. So there's a lot of, again, studies I've come across when researching into this workshop about fortified milk. So it's really good to get that source. It is an excellent source of vitamin D, and you can actually find that in other foods. I did mention salmon. Well, that was number, let's have a look at my notes, was it 5? Salmon was the number 5, that was it. And then you can also find in egg yolks and other cereals as well. So check that out. And number 10, seeds. So flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, and sunflower seeds, all great sources of magnesium. So such as leafy greens as well, yogurts and nuts and fish that we've spoken about. But magnesium has been shown to help alleviate depression, fatigue, and irritability. So if that's what you're struggling with right now, I did mention a few weeks ago, like the symptoms of what it might feel like if you are stressed, and that's part of the 25-part questionnaire assessment I asked you to fill out as well. But when you are sort of stressed, depressed, or experience anxiety, irritability is just definitely a symptom that you can definitely feel. And yeah, for sure, seeds are great. And again, it's going to be a great go-to snack if you're looking for something on the go, if you're just quickly running, you know, from point A to point B, or you've got kids, so grab those seeds. It's definitely a stress busting food as well, and something extra for the ladies, which I didn't know about. But when you're feeling especially irritable during time of the month, the mineral also helps to fight PMS symptoms. So if you do get the bad mood swings when it is your time of month, and it also helps with cramps and water retention as well, which I didn't know about, as mentioned. So that's really, really good for you to consider if you are struggling, or if you're a lady that struggles with that sort of thing as well. So they're actually the 10, they're the top 10. So I'm going to reel them off again. Number 1 out of the 10 best foods to help fight stress is green leafy vegetables. So spinach and your cabbages, anything dark, anything green, they're actually the best foods that you can have. So the darker, the greener, the better. So that's number 1. Number 2, turkey breast. So we all feel that lovely relaxed feeling. It's called the food coma. But whenever we are Christmas dinner and Thanksgiving dinners, it's the amino acid in the turkey that helps us feel that. So again, a great stress buster type food to eat. Number 3 is oatmeal, considered as a carbohydrate, but a complex carbohydrate, and has loads of benefits. And also oatmeal goes so well with fruits as well. So when you're mixing it together as a starter meal for your day, you cannot go wrong, and it helps you feel great. Number 4 is yogurt. And again, a yogurt is also another great way to snack, and you can add on the extra fruits as well. So yogurt is number 4. Number 5, consider this as a treat meal, because there's no good if you don't get a very good piece of salmon. You need to source out a very, very nice piece of salmon, make it your treat meal for the week, or maybe a few times in the month, but very, very good for the omega-3 fatty acids that are found in the salmon. Number 6 is blueberries, and again, if you were to go for any type of smoothie recipe, they always tend to add in those blueberries, and there's so many reasons for that, but the main reason in this workshop is for the antioxidants, and it helps fighting your defense, your body, helping you improve your response to stress. Pistachios is number 7, very, very good. Again, I'm not keen on pistachios, but there's some science that has been there's been science into this. It's more about the process of trying to get the nut out the shell that helps with stress. And again, I think it's just the focus when it comes to like being mindful, you know, trying to get into the nuts, but also the fact that it has the nutrients that also contain that antioxidants that helps with cardiovascular. And also number 8 is dark chocolate. Again, dark chocolate is an absolute winner. I've got my family just messaging me, let's just put that off. Dark chocolate is always a winner when you are wanting to really, really, I think, look into your health and your fitness and your stress levels. If you want to see if you want things fast and you are a meat eater already, I would just suggest to completely flip over your diet between 1 and 3 months to really get those quick results, and become a vegan, or if not a vegetarian. And dark chocolate for me was just the go-to food for a treat if you are being too good. Dark chocolate has those antioxidants that can help trigger the walls of your blood vessels to help you relax, and lowers the blood pressure, and also improves your circulation, so that's all good there. Number 9, milk, fortified milk, an excellent source of vitamin D. We all know the importance of vitamin D in our lives, and you can get that through milk. And number 10 is seeds. So I've got here flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and all great sources of magnesium. That's what you need to consume into your body, and that will help you, again, reduce the stress. And it's supposed to be linked to alleviating depression, fatigue and irritability, which is definitely the negative impacts of stress that you might feel on your body if you are struggling with stress. And they're the top 10. And I've actually got, because there is a lot out there to be fair, I've actually got another 10, making it 20. So if you are writing these down and you're trying to maybe buy different things, when it comes to your shopping list, then yeah, these are the next 10 that you can consider. I haven't got notes next to these because I've only got half an hour today, but there's research, science around avocado. Avocado is amazing. You can have that as part of a salad, include it in your smoothie. My little boy Oscar has always loved avocado on toast, and it really does fill you up as well. A very healthy food. Even though it's fattening, it's still very healthy. So avocado, I would consider this as the 11th stress busting food. Number 12 is cashews. Again, I'm not a big fan, but again, it's a very good go-to snack that you can maybe consider, and it's definitely shown to help reduce stress as well. 13 is oranges. I don't know the science behind oranges, but as we all know, any fruit is good for the body, and oranges helps you reduce stress. As like 14, which is eggs. We did touch up on eggs earlier. I can't remember what point it was exactly, but eggs, or the egg yolk in particular, is very good for vitamin D. That was it. So egg yolks, or eggs in general. 15 is seaweed. Not so much access to seaweed here in England, unless I'm mistaken. Let me know if you buy seaweed on a weekly basis in your shop. I know when I was in China, seaweed is very popular. So if you can try and implement seaweed into your diet in some way, then that would be a good thing when it comes to combating stress. Green tea. I spoke about green tea, I think, last week, if not a couple of weeks ago. So green tea is great. And if you want to, obviously it's not a food, you're drinking green tea. But yeah, it's great. And I can't remember, I think I actually read out a description on green tea, because there's a few bits in there that I didn't know about green tea myself. But again, the Chinese absolutely love their green tea, and there's definitely evidence to show that it's supposed to really help with releasing stress as well. 17 is beetroot. So I can imagine, because it's quite a powerful colour, that beetroot is really good. So if you do like your beetroot, include it in your salads. Try and get enough beetroot in your diet. That's supposed to help with stress as well. 18, turmeric, a great spice to use, especially if you're cooking. So if you're not used to using it, feel free to maybe source out some awesome recipes online on how you can use turmeric, or you can just add it maybe to rice. I know I've done that plenty of times before. 19, oysters. Again, I don't know the science or the research behind this, but oysters is supposed to be another great stress busting food. So if you've never ventured into the world of oysters when it comes to your diet, then who knows, give it a go. You might even like it as well. So, and chamomile is another stress busting food or drink. So yeah, chamomile. I haven't had that myself, but you know, again, this is where my research led me. So I'll just rule these out again if you are making notes. So 11 avocado, 12 cashews, 13 oranges, 14 eggs, 15 seaweed, 16 is green tea, 17 is beetroot, 18 turmeric, 19 oysters, and 20 chamomile. And there we have it. So I've gone into detail with the top 10, and obviously we've really covered 20, but those were the top 10 best foods to help fight stress. Now, if you are struggling again with stress, then please just reach out. Just let me know how I can help. I can definitely point you in the right direction. What I would recommend you to do is to firstly go back to that assessment. Now, you may not think stress is having an impact, but if you've been living with stress and it becomes then your new normal, you may not see the signs. But if you do notice a change in mood and change in your overall personality, especially if you haven't got the motivation that you have done to go to work, or the idea of going back to work, whatever your situation is, or it could be that your surrounding relationships are starting to be affected. It could be that you're going through financial difficulty, or the balancing act that you might have with kids and work at home. Whatever it is, I'm here. I have experienced severe stress, which led to my burnout, and I am the other end, or the severe end of the scale, which led to my depression. And I'm not saying that if you are stressed, you're going to end up feeling depressed or get depressed. I'm not saying that at all, but It's when you leave stress unchecked that unfortunately it can really lead into negative impacts on your mental and physical well-being. So that's why I'm here. So reach out, and if you feel like you need to start getting on top of your stress, then remember the 4 natural resources: cardio, strength, balance, and good nutrition. Cardio and strength, quite self-explanatory, and you can actually find awesome classes through the Leeds Beckett fitness schedule. The link's below. Balance as a 3rd resource is really about you taking time out for yourself. For example, meditating, self-care, and I've had other workshops that goes into detail when it comes to implementing balance into your life. And the 4th natural resource to help alleviate stress, anxiety is good nutrition. And again, we all know what to do when eating healthily. It's just a thing that seems to flies straight out the window when we are struggling with these severe impacts of stress. So if you do find that you're just not having a motivation to get back into eating the right foods, then again, go for that questionnaire, see how many points you get out of 25. If you've got anything over 14, then feel free to reach out. We're all here for you at Leeds Beckett Fitness and University. Okay, great. That concludes today. Thanks ever so much for listening. If you've got any questions about this workshop, then feel free to leave below. If you want me to discuss anything in particular in future weeks, then let me know, because no doubt I'm sure I'll be here from next week as well, and the continuing few weeks. And any updates when it comes to Leeds Beckett University and the fitness schedule being live as physical classes, then offline, then we'll let you know. But yeah, I will see you next week. Thank you.